Hey fight fans, welcome back to the Fight Book. The Indian Action Guy is back with some good and some bad news. We got 3 fights cancellations including Charles Oliveira fight and 10 new fight announcements in the UFC including a man event. So without wasting any time, let's start the video. Just like always, we are going to do it in chronological order. So the next UFC card, which is UFC Perth, and its co-headliner is cancelled because Junior Thapa has pulled out of his fight against Ivo Aslan. Anyway, I don't care about this fight because this fight did not deserve to be at the co-headliner spot. Anyway, the new co-headliner is now Jimmy Crute versus Ivan Arzalan, and Junior Thapa's brother Justin Thapa is now in the main card. The next is UFC Rio card on October 11th, which was supposed to headline by Charles Oliveira versus Rafael Fiziev. This fight is cancelled because Rafael Fiziev has pulled out of this fight. The reason is currently unknown, but Charles Oliveira will stay on this card, and UFC is currently looking for a replacement. And guess what? The replacement, as per rumor, is Benoit Saint-Denis. Yes, but it is not confirmation. It is just a rumor. So let's see what happens to this fight. The second pullout is also from this card. Gabriel Bonfim's original opponent Randy Brown has also pulled out. So let's see who is going to replace Randy Brown at UFC Rio card. Now after this fight cancellation, UFC released official posters for 2 cards, UFC Vancouver and UFC 321. You can see them on your screen. Tell me in the comment section if you like them or not. Now let's talk about the new fight announcements, and first one is the headliner of UFC Vegas 110 November 1st. A few days ago, Baldo Cortes Acosta versus Ante Delija was announced, and it was reported that this fight would be the headliner of this card. But now it is confirmed that this fight is indeed on the card, but it is not the headliner. It will probably serve as the co-headliner, and the headliner of this card is a top 15 featherweight bout, where number 12 ranked Steve Garcia, riding a 6-fight win streak in the UFC, will be taking on number 13 ranked David Onama, who is riding his own 4-fight win streak. Garcia is currently coming off a unanimous decision win over Calvin Kattar after 5 straight finishes, while Onama is coming off a unanimous decision over Giga Chikadze. Anyway, that's not all from UFC Vegas 110. A welterweight bout is also added, where Seok Hyun Ko, who is coming off his impressive UFC debut where he beat Oban Elliott via unanimous decision, will be coming back, and he will take on Phil Rowe, who is coming off his first UFC win since 2022 by knocking out Ange Lusa in round 3. Then the next card is also a Vegas card, which is UFC Vegas 111 on November 8th, and a heavyweight bout is announced for this card, which should have been on Dana White's Contender Series. 6-0 heavyweight AJ Fry will be taking on 5-0 heavyweight Guilherme Pat. Both will be making their UFC debut at UFC Vegas 111. Fry's all 6 wins were knockouts, while Pat's 4 out of his 5 wins were knockouts. He was supposed to fight Dana White's Contender Series episode this month in September, but he had to pull out, and now he will be directly making his debut in the UFC. Then the next card is November 15, UFC 322 pay-per-view at MSG, headlined by Madalina versus Makhachev, and 2 middleweight bouts are announced for this card. First one I had already told you about. It is Bo Nickel versus Adolfo Vieira. If you are a subscriber of Fightbook, you already knew about this fight. It is now just confirmed that it will indeed take place at UFC 322 card. The other middleweight bout is between Gregory Rodriguez versus Roman Kopylov. 2 important middleweight gatekeepers. Rodriguez, who is 4-1 out of his last 5 UFC fights, just came back into the win column by knocking out Jack Hermansson in round 1. Anyway, that one loss was also a fight of the night loss in the headliner against Jared Cannonier. Moreover, if we talk about Kopylov, his 2-fight win streak was broken by Paulo Costa recently. Then next middleweight bout is added on December 6th, UFC 323 card, where Mansoor Abdul Malik, who is overall 8-0 in his MMA career, is rebooked against Antonio Tricoli. They were previously booked for February, but Malik had to withdraw. Now Malik is 2-0 in the UFC, currently coming off a draw against Cody Brundage. but Tricoli is 0-2 in the UFC, so it should be an easy fight for Abdul Malik. Then the next card is December 13th, UFC Vegas 112, headlined by Royval versus Carp, and 3 fights are added on this one. First one is a heavyweight bout where Steven Aspinall, who just won his UFC contract on Dana White Contender Series September 9th episode with only 16 seconds knockout, and he will be taking on Sean Sheriff, who had lost his UFC debut last year from Junior Tafa. Then in the middleweight bout, Cezary Oleksiejczuk, who earned his contract on September 2 episode with 36-second KO, will make his UFC debut against Cesar Almeida, who is 3-1 in the UFC with 2 performance of the night bonuses, and he is currently riding a 2-fight win streak, currently coming off a round 1 knockout over Abdulrazak Al Hassan. And the third one is a women flyweight bout where Teresa Bleda, after withdrawing from her last 2 fights, returns against Jamie Lynn Horth. Bleda is 1-1 in the UFC, and in her last fight she beat Gabriela Fernandez, which was in June 2023. On the other hand, Horth is 3-2 in the promotion, currently coming off a win over Vanessa Demopoulos. And these were all the new UFC fight announcements. Now you are again completely up to date. Share your thoughts in the comment section and then do whatever you want.